How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to tell you the brutal, honest truth about what I think is happening in the crypto market right now and my feelings towards the crypto market. So we're going to talk about some big caps, some small caps, what's happening, why people are fearful, what I think will happen moving forward. I also want to talk to you about why people are going to lose a good amount of money in crypto. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not bearish on crypto. I'm quite bullish and have a significant amount of my wealth in crypto, but there's still going to be people that lose out because they're doing the wrong things. Stay through to the end because I think this is going to be jam-packed. There is some smaller cap news too. Some coins I've talked about a good amount on the channel that are actually implementing burning mechanisms. So I'm going to cover a lot in this video, starting with what I feel about the market. Now, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, subscribe button, I really do appreciate that. There is a link underneath the video to BlockFi too, where you can get up to $250 worth of Bitcoin using that link. So right now, we are seeing some more red in the market. It was looking a little bit better just a few days ago. We had Bitcoin around 50,500, and we've come down. We've tested this $46,000 level, came back above, and then we're slowly dripping down a little bit. Now, why is this happening? We'll talk about that first, and then we'll get into what I feel about it. But first of all, the whole market's down. If you think that's just crypto, it's not. A lot of the stock market is down too, and it's been that way for the last couple days. A couple weeks ago, it was down because of the Omicron variant. People were worried about that. And then Evergrande, what's happening right now is that people are fearful of the FOMC meeting. So Jerome Powell is going to talk about raising interest rates tomorrow and also the taper. So people are just scared right now. They're scared that we're going to get into a higher interest rate environment where it makes less sense to borrow money, and that kind of slows down the economy, also cutting inflation because we did get the PPI numbers here today. It's another way of measuring inflation, and it is very high. It came in higher than expected and is near 10% for the year. So CPI is still 6.8, but a lot of people are just saying this is out of control. That's not a good sign. That's not a good look. So we need to raise interest rates. That's hurting crypto a lot because it's thought of as a speculative investment. Now, some people say, hey, the fact is that so much inflation is happening. You have to hold something like Bitcoin because it is an inflation hedge. And I agree with that. But in the short term, people are still scared because of it. Also, there most likely is some selling because a lot of people got in earlier this year and have made a good amount of money in crypto throughout the year. So they're trying to take profits. They're trying to lock in their profits for the end of the year, or maybe they're selling because they want to be able to take some tax loss harvesting because crypto has come down a little bit. So if they bought at 65,000, let's say for Bitcoin, now they're selling at 46,000. They're able to deduct that from their taxes. Now, always go consult a tax advisor, but what's happening in crypto right now is there is still a lot of buying. It's just from the retail side. And the last time retail bought the dip this hard was at the bottom of the COVID crash. We haven't seen this much retail buying because honestly, retail is just being greedy, which is a good thing right now because the fear and greed index is very fearful. So a lot of people that have under one Bitcoin are trying to stack sats right now. One other thing to pay attention to is that illiquid supply just keeps on going higher and higher. Even with the price falling down, the liquid supply keeps on getting higher, showing that, hey, there will be a supply crunch at some point in the future. Now, there are still some cryptos that are actually doing fairly well. I've talked about Memer on that channel before, but they have some news. This isn't sponsored or anything, but they're releasing on iOS and Android and web tomorrow. And because of this, they're up 13%. So gaming cryptos, depending on the crypto, they're still doing fairly well. Phantasma is another one that I've talked about a good amount. They went from about 190 a few days ago, and they pumped all the way back up to about 270. So depending on the cryptos you're in, they're not necessarily down that much. They can still have these pumps in kind of a sideways or a down market, but they're usually shorter lived than if we were up in a green market. Now, there is one other crypto that I want to tell you about real quick that I'll have links to underneath the video that has a big event coming tomorrow. So I do want to take a second to thank the partner of the channel, Cytus Heroes. This is a play-to-earn MMORPG game, which is really cool. So the level of detail that they went into is insane. They have a huge community, and they're launching here soon with their game. So their white paper has 41 pages, and I don't think I've seen a project that has this level of detail in their roadmap. I mean, they go 4 years out here with what they want to do. Also, they do have links to their NFTs, and they're at a floor price of about 0.8. So it's been growing or gaining a lot of steam recently, and they do have a very big community, like I said, with 304,000 followers, including Alex Becker and Mr. Beast. So they are having their IDO. I'll put information to this underneath the video along with their website and everything like that. They're going to feature their 2 tokens. One is Sidus and one is Senate. One is the governance and then one is the in-game currency. And they will have their beta version launching here in early January. So definitely check out the information underneath the video. They already have 20,000 subscribers over on YouTube too with just a few videos. So like I said, they have a really strong community and their game is coming here soon. So definitely check it out. So overall, the market is fearful right now. But in the long term, we still have so much adoption coming. For example, we have NYDIG, which is raising $1 billion in funding. Value is now at $7 billion for the company. Now, if you don't know what this company is, its goal is to enable access to Bitcoin financial services for everyday individuals. So if you want a company to raise some funding to expand growth faster, it's something like this. It's NYDIG. It's not just one blockchain. It is the adoption of crypto. NYDIG is also set to bring Bitcoin adoption to over 650 US banks and credit unions, launching Bitcoin trading for 18 million US customers. So you have to realize something like this can push up the price of crypto exponentially because of the fact that it just brings more adoption. And they're not the only company that's doing this. We also have Spain's second largest bank that's offering Ethereum trading and custody services. We have Germany's largest bank planning to allow you to be able to buy and sell and hodl Bitcoin. We have Australia, we have Colombia, we have so many countries, El Salvador obviously, that are offering these Bitcoin services to their citizens. And this, like I've said in the last few videos, this is not a quick thing. This happens, we get the news about it, and it happens over months and months and months. So the fact is, there is still a lot of money that is flowing in to grow the ecosystem. So yes, gaming cryptos are going to do well over the next couple of years, but still there's going to be a lot of adoption in all of cryptos in my opinion. One other thing that happened today, Tesla will make some merch buyable with DOGE and see how it goes. So there are still large companies that are trying to use this as advertising or just trying to accept crypto moving forward. This is not something that they do lightly. And we have to remember there is still going to be adoption and also improvements while crypto is going down. So we'll get to my overall thoughts here in a second, but the much awaited EIP 1559 upgrade for the testnet is here for Polygon. So this is not going to be probably as deflationary as Ethereum, but they said the annualized burn would represent about 0.3% of the total Matic supply. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but that's one more thing that's positive for Matic. I mean, that's cutting down every single year on the supply overall and could make a huge difference over the long term if you're a long-term investor. This also just is exciting news, right? If you're a holder, there's never going to be as many Matic tokens as there are right now. This is implemented, I believe it was today. So this is just one more big piece of news. And you have to realize, even if crypto is trading sideways, that there are companies that are implementing, there are companies that are adopting. There is good news happening all the time in crypto. And if the price goes up and down and up and down and ends up sideways, it's just coiling up for more explosion later. Now, with that being said, we could always see more of a dip, but we have seen very strong buying as we dip further. There are a lot of institutions that want in at lower prices, and there are a lot of retail investors that want in for the long term. We've seen what it can do in the past. It's just a question of how long you're willing to hold. Now, the reason I say that people are going to lose a lot of money in crypto is not because I'm bearish. It's not because I'm bearish at all. It's because people will buy at the wrong time. They're going to buy when crypto pumps, and then they're going to freak out and sell. Don't be that person. Now, of course, if your financial situation changes and some emergency arises, then maybe it makes sense to sell. But if you bought and you thought that you want to hold for the long term or even make a swing trade, why would you sell when we're seeing it range after it's fallen down 20, 30%? That is a terrible time to sell. I think there are a variety of reasons that the market's falling down right now. And everything that I see makes me bullish for the long term, especially over the next 6 months or a year. in the next 10 years especially, but even over the coming months. Now, don't get me wrong, we're going to see price swings. It's going to be hard, but this is the area you want to be in. This is the asset that you want to hold. And what's happening now, in my opinion, like I said, there are institutions or whales or whoever it is that want to lock in profits for the end of the year. And institutions, you have to remember, they are trying to compete against other institutions. They're not necessarily out there to make the best gain over time. They're trying to beat out other institutions in a certain time frame so that way they can pitch more and get more assets under management. That's how they make a good majority of their money. So if they're able to lock in, let's say, a 50% return for the year, that's fantastic for them if they're comparing themselves to other institutions that got less. So they're not always looking out for the best interest of their clients. A lot of the time they're looking out for the best interest of their clients and themselves, right? So I think they're locking up profits. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of money flowing in over the first part of the year. Now, I'm not saying that we're not going to see anything happening now. Anything can happen, and it can happen quickly. We know that because we can shoot up $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 in a day. It doesn't take very long for people to turn bullish from bearish. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of money flowing in after the beginning of the year. Like I said, not writing off this year, but there are a lot of people that want in on this. And this, I think, is by far the best opportunity in 2022. I don't expect the indexes to go up 50%, 100% like some of these cryptos. Now, I always think that's important to keep some money on the sidelines, which is why I use something like BlockFi to get an interest rate on my cryptos. I could even start by putting money there in BUSD or something like that, or GUSD, and then I could get my interest paid in Ethereum or Bitcoin to buy the dip without me having to actually do anything. So I think there are different ways that you can do this, but I think it is important to have some cash, because if we see dips, then you have to have some cash available. And a lot of people ask me, how do I have money to buy the dips? And I've heard it asked by other people to other YouTubers too. You have to remember, I have a job. Most people have jobs, right? This is my job, but everyone gets paid if they have a job, and they get paid every couple weeks usually. And you just set some of that aside to buy, right? Unless you're someone that's in college or high school or something like that, and you have no income and you just had a little bit saved up and you bought everything, you have money coming in. If you don't have money coming in, I suggest getting a side gig or trying to work maybe more hours or something, so that way you have more to invest, right? I don't see another opportunity like this over the coming 10, 20, 30 years to invest that is going to be this explosive over the next decade. As more regulation comes, as more adoption comes, it's going to naturally push up this market. It seems crazy that we're at like a $2 trillion market cap. Other assets are much higher than this. Gold alone, 5x from where the whole market cap is for crypto. Bitcoin goes up to gold's market cap, I believe it's 13x. So I don't see another 13x opportunity in stocks that I am this comfortable with, right? And you also get paid an interest rate for holding on to a lot of these cryptos depending on how you're holding them. So I don't see another opportunity like this. People will lose money because they will sell out at terrible times. That's what you have to be careful of. You don't want to be the person that buys at 65, panic sells at 47, right? You want to buy the dip, even if it's just a smaller amount. Buying some, having some money on the sidelines and buying some regularly will make you feel a lot better over the long term. And especially in days like this where we're kind of down a little bit, you're maybe getting a little bit worried, we're not seeing the blow off top that we expected, buying a little bit will help. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this underneath the video. Again, thank you to Cytus Heroes. You can check out their information underneath the video. Let me know how you feel about the crypto market, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.